Tata muy leo, tata maime muy leo. Kenani Bakwenda, Sunga. Salam alaikum. Malaikum Sala, Kwaria Congo. Salam alaikum. Todo yaya, todo tata que cuenda. Arriba Munanzo. Brahma con Brahma. Salam alaikum to everyone on this live. I want to do another live. Got a little bit out early from work today. And I saw a video from another tata earlier. And I communicate with this tata, not on the phone. I wish I could communicate on the phone with him, but through comments on videos. And understand that if I take the time to just write a comment on somebody's video, it's because I agree with that person. I don't just write comments just to write, it's because I agree. And there's another one that makes great videos too, that I talked to him on the phone. Young guy, but with a lot of knowledge. Because in reality, there's not a lot of people out there making these videos in English. Reasons why, I have no idea. But we're trying to bring you guys a little bit of information. So this guy that I follow, and this video is not disrespecting him at all. I'm actually agreeing with him. But I also want to put my 2 cents in it, right? Salam alaikum, Tata Matamba. Actually, Tata Matamba is one of the guys that I comment on his videos, and he's the one I was talking about. A young Tata, not young as young in the practice, but young in age, but with an old soul that has a lot of knowledge. And I like his style because there are not many people out there. See, you see a lot of videos and what I like to call the New Agers, right? Because I can't use another word. And there are not a lot of people out there that talk about the old ways, the traditional ways, how things were done in Africa. It's mostly synchronized palo and more of the Cuban style, but not palo, which we cannot use palo, right? Because the word palo is in Spanish. He talks more about tiempo andilanga and the old ways. And it's a guy that has a lot of knowledge, right? Because he has taken his time and done his research. And I watched his video today on Kalunga and Nsambi. And I had a gachao that called me up and he's like, hey, what do you think about the video? I'm like, I agree with him 100%. And I'm like, I agree with him 100%. And I'll back that up anytime. And not many people talk about that. Now people talk about commercialized palo or about drama because that's what people love. And you can tell Matamba has taken his time. He writes his words down. I'm just organized. I'm just gonna come live and I'm gonna speak what's on my mind, right? But he takes his time, he writes things down and puts in nice little cards for you and everything, right? And he explains everything detail by detail. The only thing I wish he had done was talk more about nkisi, right? Because that's my boy. But I understand we have to talk over the top. We can't give too much things because there's a lot of people out there taking these treaties, tratados, and not even giving it credit. See, what I'm doing right now, I'm giving credit to that Tata right there. Not because he's in my life, but a César lo que es de César, right? To Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Now, my thing here, I'm going to talk about something that Tata Andy talked about, and that's the slave. When we say that Nfumbe is a slave, and I'm going to give you, and I agree with Andy, I agree with him 100%, but I'm going to give you also my opinion, and I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm going to give a little bit more of information of what I think, but I couldn't name it the same way as he did, right? Malekong ba cuenta Sara Luna Ray, y que en Zambia te locutara con mucho más Jimenez. And that's the topic that he touched about enslaving the Nfumbe. But he also brought up a good point. See, back in the days, before it came here, it was mostly about the honoring of ancestors, Yobakulus. And he says something, will you treat your ancestor like a slave? And I'm going to make this real quick. So let's go back to Cuba. During the time of slavery, the mayordomos, centinelas, right? The people that were in charge, Maleko Makwena Sara, the people that were in charge used to treat the slaves really bad. They used to whip them, right? And there's another tata that sung this mambo that says, Mambele mayoral, mambele, mambele mayoral, mambele, meaning don't hit me with the machete itself, because if you do, you're gonna cut me. Put the leather protection and the machete and hit me with that. That way you won't hurt me, and that could still work, right? So they used to beg the mayordomo, capataz, not to hit him with a machete raw, to hit him with the leather part. And that mambo talks about that. Mambos are very important because mambo tells stories. But imagine back in Cuba in the 16th century, 15th century, even, late 17th centuries, how there's people who were in charge of the slaves, right? The supervisors, let's use that word, mistreated them, whipped them, hit them. So that Congo had this resentment, this hate to this person, right? And then when this person died, their punishment was for the Congolese to go and get those bones and put them in the receptacle, and now treated them the way they treated the Congolese, the slaves, and made them a slave. And that's why they got punished just the same way, my opinion. I'm not saying that. I don't claim to know everything. And what I say here is not for you to go back to your moon and soul and question your tata. Respect your tata, respect your yaya. My videos are for those who are looking for information that have not got initiated. You always have to go to your godparents first, okay? And I'm not here criticizing other people. Instead, respect them, because I don't claim to know everything, and I don't claim to know what Bititi Congo does, and what Sacampeño does, and what Priyumba con Mayombe does. I know Brahma con Brahma. And this is my opinion, what I'm talking about. So then they would take those bones and capture that spirit and encapsulate it. And then they gave them the same treatment as they in life treated a slave. And that's why and that's where that comes from. And now you see tatas that tell you, yes, that Nfumbe is a slave. And you gotta treat that Nfumbe as a slave. And they get whips and they whip the nganga. They turn their nganga on fire. Those are tratados, right? And they tell the Nfumbe, oh no, you're gonna do what I want you to do. And Malekong Bakwenden Sara, Uncle Leroy's Hurukorn. And you're gonna do what I tell you to do, because now I'm the slave master, right? I'm the owner. Because yes, there are tratados that when we go to Cunalembo or Cunenfinda or Camposanto, the cemetery, we have to sort of trick that Nfumbe, because it's not an Nfumbe yet until it goes into the receptacle, until it has been fundamented, right? Fundamentado. And we make a deal with that. That most of the time we look for a grave that has been deserted, not tended, that nobody cleans it, that nobody takes care of it. And then we say, hey, I'll take care of you. I'll give you this. I'll give you that if you come with me and you work with me. But you have to pick the right influence. It's not like that, but I'm not going to get into details. You have to pick the right Nfumbi. And then once it agrees with us, we do something that we trap it and bring it, and then we ceremonize it. Um, we put it where we're supposed to put it. And now that energy works with us. Now that energy helps us. But there's a saying that goes, un viejo amigo nunca se olvida, meaning an old friend will never be forgotten. An old friend will never be forgotten. Because it's a deal. It's something that says, you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back. I help you and I will help you as well. You give me this and I'll give you that. And there's a lot of people that say, well, that Nfumbe, we have to make a story. One of my biggest mentor and friends, and I wish that I could have had practice more time, you know, I didn't have much time with him, and that was Tata Butako. And you could see my interviews with him. Once told me, you have to let that Nfumbe think that it's still alive. Because now it's an Nfumbe, because it has gotten fundamentado, right? And that's why you don't have newspapers with the dates. And that's why you don't talk about the news or say anything of what time it is, or time of day, or time of year. And you gotta tell that person that is still alive. And like I said, unfortunately, we can't talk too much here, because there's a lot of people out there that then they will get this content and start thinking it's theirs, or that they made it up, right? And they don't give credit to where credit is deserved. But what I want to say is this: when you treat that muerto, that Nfumbe, like a slave, and you keep mistreating it and mistreating it, turning that nganga on fire, whipping that nganga. Yes, cada Congo con his maña, and I'm not here criticizing others. But what do you think happens when you are 70 and you are 80 years old, and you cannot longer control that muerto? You cannot longer control that Nfumbe, because you don't have the energies to stop it. And then that Nfumbe possesses you. And that's why I believe myself that there's a lot of tatas that live in very bad situations. Because imagine the power that muerto has, that Nfumbe has, and that it could turn your life upside down in seconds. It could bring havoc in your life. And now you're 80 years old, you can't control that spirit. What do you think the spirit is going to do to you? I've seen and I've heard stories where old tatas and walking in the street get pushed into a bus, into a car. They fall dead right there doing a yimbula, because the spirit mounted them and they couldn't handle it anymore. And that's why I'm big with treat the Nfumbe as it's your best friend. Treat it with respect. A lot of people is like, no, you'll do what I want you to do, because they want to make money. It's about the money. It's about the symbol. And I'm big on, if my Nfumbe says no, it's no. If that Nganga says no, it's no. Because that Nganga could be telling me that this person will bring trouble, that this person will be a headache, that this person will be day and night telling me what's going on, what happened, when I don't see anything, right? And a lot of times, that energy that your client has, that negativity will go against you or will go against your work. It's very important for you to treat the muerto with respect. Yes, you tricked them, but I'm big on like, okay, I made a deal with you, and as a man, I'm gonna honor that deal. I will respect you. You respect me. If you do this for me, I will do that for you. If you think that that cannot be done, then tell me it cannot be done. Yes, I understand some Nfumbes get lazy. Some muertos get lazy, but that's why we have other things, right? That's why we have puyas, mambos that we sing. Or that mambo that says, si en mi tierra no hay sol, yo vinco la olla. Si mi tierra no hay sol, yo vinco la olla. Yo quemo guanonce como candela colorada. Yo quemo guanonce como candela colorada. Saying that if in this land the sun doesn't shine, I'm going to go to the other side. Basically saying, if you don't want to do it, I'm going to go over there to the other part. Because you don't want to do it. And those are puyas, right? Imagine you're a general and you're going to war. You want to hype your soldiers. You want to hype those people that are going to war with you. So that's why more mumbles come. And that's why we have chamba to heat it up. And it's maña. How do you stand in front of the enganga, right? When you walk into the enganga, how do you stand? You're not going to go, ay, siete rayos, mi rey. I'm not making fun of, homosexuals or anything, but I'm just giving you an example, right? I brought you flowers. Ay, mi siete. That's not the way. You want to talk to that enganga like it's a warrior. We're going to war, like that, right? We're going to do this, and you want to hype it up. And there's ways. But once that enganga is like, no, 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 no. And then you got to find out why it's a no. We have to investigate why it's a no. So Tata Andy brought up a good point. And I was like, you know what? He's right. And it's not that I'm taking content, copying content. Because I am giving him credit too for that. Just like I gave Matamba, right? Because that's how I am. For me, it's not about followers. It's not about I want to gain followers. For me, it's about let me give credit where credit is deserved. Follow them. You got Matamba right there. That's Tata Matamba. He's online here. And you're gonna learn a lot about El Tiempo Andilanga. You're gonna learn about the old ways. Because to be honest with you, and I was talking to a god brother today, and I was like, bro, the Africanism and the Cuban palo is slowly disappearing. Everything that has to do with what the Africans brought has changed, has been manipulated different way. I understand this tradition has to evolve, but it's slowly losing its roots. Yes, they are. Yes, Uncle Leroy's, they are. But it's slowly losing that mania, that knowledge that the African brought. And I'm not saying that Nganga, because Nganga is not African. Nganga, the receptacle, the pot, is a Cuban thing. And it's a great invention. Because the Africans are the nkisis, right? And like I said, I don't claim to know everything. But I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. It's like I'm big on keeping the tradition. I'm keeping the memories. Because a lot of people have this thing that if they don't know it, they will make it up or they will invent it. Hey, and it works for them. It works, right? Who am I to say that's not right? I'm not. I'm no one. Because like a lot of people say, a lot of us agree, every house has their own rules, their own knowledge, their own secrets. But it seems like today, they're trying to make Palo into this. You have to follow all these rules, and people are trying to make rules, and they're trying to make universal rules that people have to follow. If it's not the way those rules are made, that is not correct. Nature doesn't have rules. And that's why I was like, yeah, man. And when Matamba came with the video, I was like, Ndoki Aya, preach, brother, preach, right? When he gave the sample about the gazelle and the lion, beautiful example, beautiful. I was like, holy shit, damn. And then when he gave the example about the magnets, right? Because for me, it's like, well, it doesn't make sense to go into the Nganga, take the cross, put it to the side, and now it's bad. Hey, if you guys do it that way, I'm not against it. It's cool. It's all good, right? But to me, that makes sense. I'm like, yo jura bueno, yo jura malo. I swear good, and I swear bad. It's a balance, and I'm gonna use this example. It's like the magnet. When you see the magnet, you have a positive side and you have a negative side. But in reality, it's one thing. We have a positive side, we have a negative side, right? Oh, like he said, stronger side. Let's not use the word negative. Let's use the word stronger side. Okay? you know, we talk sometimes with Matamba, and he says this and this, but we agree on a lot of things. I haven't smoked a cigar in a while, and I'm like, I'm craving a cigar. I've been doing those tobacco patches. Do you any of you have any questions? I want to take a little bit 5 minutes to answer some questions if you. But the questions is according to my opinion. I don't want to. I'm not telling you that what I say is universal, that everybody agrees with it, right? Everybody has a different way of thinking. Everybody has their own school of knowledge. No way, no one way is right. There are multiple ways that we do this, right? But I wish there was a lot more of us out there giving this knowledge, talking about this. I have a god brother who we speak almost every day, and we speak a lot of good things, right? And I tell him, bro, you should go and make your videos, man, and bring that. And he talks about Kemet. And today we were talking about, and a few days ago, we were talking about the Ark of the Covenant and how he thought that was an nkisi. And the way he explained it to you, I'm like, oh shit, man, that makes sense. Because I respect that, right? I respect that because I didn't see it that way. Am I saying that I agree with him? But I could also see what he's talking about. And it has in a mirror just like the Nganga has a mirror in the Empaka. It has sticks, and it has this, and it has gold, and it has sigils, just like in Nkisi and Nganga, right? So I was like, you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense. And he talks about Kemet, and he talks about Egypt, and he talks about the last tribe of the what you call it, the Congolese, the Hebrew Congos and stuff like that, Bantus, and I study a lot of that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, but if we start talking about that, they're gonna eat us alive because they're gonna think that we are changing everything. But understand that this tradition, this practice, right? Because it's not a religion. Yes, the limba. This practice, because like a lot of us agree, it's not a religion. People say, my religion is Palo. Palo's not a religion, it's a way of life. It's a practice. A religion is Christianity. Okay? My wife comes from Lemba, Congo Lemba. And it's a beautiful one. But we have to go and research as far as we can. as far as we can, past Egypt, past Kemet, to the roots, in order for you to understand. And I talk to a lot of tatas, but not many of them have the understanding, only a few. And other tatas that I interview have the understanding, but we talk on the side. But Matamba, it's almost like I look at Matamba, I'm like, damn, man, this is like a mirror image of me. I'm not taking credit for his things, right? But it's like this kid understands me and I understand him. And I think that's why we get along, right? But if we start talking about things like that here, it's like we're gonna be eating alive. We're gonna have a lot of people like, oh, they're trying to change everything. They're trying to. It's not about that. It's about bringing an understanding. But going back, treat that Nfumbe with respect. This is not about I'm gonna turn the pot on fire. I'm gonna punish you. Because when you get old, that Nfumbe is gonna come back for pay, right? You're gonna say, okay, now it's your turn. Now you're gonna feel what it is to be arriba candela, right? To have candela. And you might be walking in the street and blah. Then you just hear the bus, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. And that's why I believe a lot of ganguleros die in poverty or live in poverty because of the way they treat that Nfumbe, the way they work with things. Because we are part of nature, and nature has no rules. Right now, it could be very sunny. In 5 minutes, you have this wind that picks up, and then you have a tornado or hurricane, and now you have havoc. When 5 minutes ago it was beautiful and sunny. That's how nature is. You can build a wall, but those weeds will go up the wall. Those vines will go up the wall. In a few years, you'll see that wall covered with vines, and it'll go over the wall, it'll go under the wall. You can't stop. It's like you trying to stop ants and you put in poison. And then next thing you know, you have another ant hill growing on the other side. It's always a way. You can't. Yes, exactly. You have to have that great relationship with that Nfumbe. And like I said, unfortunately, in this channels and these platforms, we can only talk so much over the top without giving secrets. Because in reality, those secrets are reserved for our godchildren. Those secrets are reserved for those who are part of our lineage. You're gonna buy books, and that's what I call commercialized, Paulo. You're gonna hear people online, YouTube, and that's what we call commercialized, Paulo. Things that we can talk that everybody is free to talk about. But when it comes to the secrets of that moon and soul, you have to be part of that. So remember, a word of advice. At the end, you can do whatever you want. But a word of advice for those who are looking for knowledge, those that are seeking, those who are trying to walk into this path. Treat that Nfumbe like it's your friend. Treat that Nfumbe like how you would want to be treated. Because my promise as a man is what I have. That's my word. And my word is worth more than all the money in the world, right? And if I come to that Nfumbe and I promise him something or her something, then I'm going to keep that promise. Because Nfumbe nunca se olvida. That spirit will never forget. That's all, guys. Hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family. Treasure your family. Love your family. Because today they're there, tomorrow they might be there. Treasure your friends. And that's all. Okay? You all have a blessed night. Que Sambia locutare con mucho más simene. Bye bye.